LAN switches configuration backup. So what the task is, actually we are going to upgrade our LAN switches from fast Ethernet to Gigabit Ethernet. But before we do this, we need to make sure we can take a configuration backup of both the switches. In case of any issue, we can roll it back. So what are the agenda today? We are going to take the configuration backup task. We discuss that. We are seeing what are the prerequisites, and then we're taking the configuration backup via secure CRT. And there are two methods we'll be using configuration backup via the TFTP server. So the task is actually very simple. We have two switches, LAN switches here. They are already connected in our rack. One is 3750 with the 24 ports, as you can see, and the name is FNSW90. Another switch is already in the rack as well, and it's a 48 port gigabit switch. It has 4 SFP switch ports and rest of the Ethernet 48 port gigabit Ethernet as well. So this switch will be replaced with the this switch, but before we do that, we need to take the configuration backup. So what are the prerequisites in order to do this configuration task? Basically, we need, of course, two switches. This is 24 switch, this is 48 port switches. We need the remote connection. Remote connection can be made by the secure CRT using SSH, Telnet, and the IP address on the network, or we need a PuTTY as well. These are the two common use software for the remote connection to the devices. We need also a PC with a laptop, a PC or laptop with a network connection. So these devices need to have a network connection, or they have a network. They must be on the same network, or they must have a network connection through router or switches as well. Also, we need to use TFTP server. This TFTP server is readily available over the internet free of charge, and you can download this. You need to make sure that you allocate a drive, and also you need to make sure which interface, if you have multiple interfaces, which interface you will be using. Once we start this, we will go through that, but we need to make sure we have a TFTP server. Along with that, this is the topology we will be using in our network. We have two switches already connected. We have a TFTP server in 10.205.0.218, 1.90, 1.182. These one. This is 24 port switch. This is 48 port switch. This is the network topology we will be using. In order to test that, we can make sure we can ping all the network before we do any kind of activity. So for example, I am on, okay, this is my 10.205.0.218 and /23, and make sure I can ping to 0.1.90. I can ping that, so we are on the same network. Also, we need to make sure that we can ping to 182, the new switch as well. So both these switches are reachable from the TFTP server. I have also installed TFTP server as well on my machine. As you can see, we have multiple IP, but we are using 10.205 IP to communicate with the switch. We have also using one of the IP, one of the configuration, one of the folder on our desktop. So making sure the configuration backup can be saved here. So this is the network topology. After that, we need to use a Notepad Plus is an optional, so you can modify any configuration later on. So again, the steps are: we need two switches, we need remote connection, we need laptop with a network connection, we need network topology to understand, and we need to test that, making sure we can ping them as well. We need TFTP server as well, along with PC, and optional with a Notepad as well. So let's just go how we can take the configuration backup. Configuration method point of view, there are two methods we will be using. One configuration via secure CRT and one configuration via TFTP server. So we'll be in this video, we will be using both the method. So let's just go the first method. In the first method, configuration backup, we will be using the secure CRT. How you will be using the secure CRT or PuTTY, we can log the session output in the show running command. So first of all, we need to log in and we need to run this command. I have already accessed these switches, as you can see. The IP address of this switch is 10.205.0.190. So you can see this is the telnet I have done already. So in order to do the show running command, once you do the show running command, the problem is you will see you will not be taking the backup straight away. So first of all, you need to do is you need to do this command. You need to do the log session here. This will log any output for you. Okay, I am naming this file. Okay, I can name this file. And one thing I just want to make sure, when I name this file, I can name it to differentiate via you can see secure ERT. So that will be my file name. You can name it as a text file. So if I run show running here, what will happen? You will see I need to press tab multiple times. Okay. Or there is another way you can do this. Take the log again. And if you want all the output come in within one command, you can do terminal length 0. This will make sure when you run the show run command, it will give you all the output of the show running. That's it. So now we can see with the show running command. Now I need to make sure I should uncheck this log session, and that command has been saved in my folder. This is which you can see. You see, this command, this configuration file is saved. This was the file when I can open in the notepad, for example, notepad plus. So you see all the configuration is now taken backup while using the secure CRT without any problem. That's the configuration backup of one of the switch we have using the secure CRT. This is what we use it. We done the show run command and we then press tab key because it shows you maybe 10-20 lines in, and then you need to press the tab key, press space key. Otherwise, we use the other one where we use the terminal length command, and terminal length means all the show running command will be saved. What I can do, I can, for example, I can delete from here. Okay, that's the configuration backup has been taken. Now, after that, this configuration is ready. As you can see at the end, done. So that's the configuration we have saved now. I am saving this configuration here. There are two files we have saved. So that's the configuration backup of using the secure CRT. The second method we will be using for using the TFTP server. And TFTP server, we need to take the backup. So what is the TFTP server we have? As per our topology, as you can see, my machine is in the 10.205.0.218, and I need to take the configuration backup of 10.205.1.90 and 10.205.1.182 via the TFTP server. So first thing, we need to make sure we can ping to TFTP via the TFTP. We can ping to all the switches, both the switches. As you can see, 190 I can ping that, and 182 I can ping as well. Both are reachable from my machine. From this machine. Now I'm going into the secure CRT. Okay, here I can do copy, running configuration, the source of the file, and TFTP. Now it's asking me the remote machine IP address from the switch. We need to make sure we have the IP address of the remote machine 10.205.0.218. That's the IP address. Okay, what will be the file name? The file name can be fnsw90 tftp enter. So you can see within few milliseconds the configuration backup has been successfully taken, which you can see in our folder here. This is the one. That's the configuration backup has been taken, and I can open in the notepad. This is the configuration, same configuration backup. You see there is no show running here. all the configuration backup has been taken without any problem from the TFTP. I can also take a configuration backup of my second switch as well. I need to go into the other switch. This is my 48 port switch. The 48 port switch, how you can verify this? 3748 port switch. Okay. Yeah, you can see this is 48 port switch. And the IP address of this switch is, as we see, we already assigned an IP address 10.205.1.82. We can make sure we have the TFTP connectivity 0.218. That's the IP address. So in a situation if you cannot ping, actually the ping is timed out, we can check the firewall connectivity of our PC, and let me check that. So this is setting, for example, you can see the firewall is running. Let me try to disable this and try to ping now. Now you can see it is reachable. So it is advised that when you're taking this, sometime you have a problem. Make sure your firewall or antivirus, maybe sometime you need to disable for a while. Now I can ping it. I can take the configuration, copy from running to TFTP, and my host 10.205.0.218, and the switch configuration will be FN 3750 48 base configuration. Okay. So you can see the copy file has been copied here, and that file you can see here now. This one, FN3748 base configuration. You can open in the notepad, and you will be able to see all the configuration for this switch. So this is, you can see gigabit port up to 48 ports. You can see here 48 plus SFP port. So that's the configuration of this switch. So this is how you can take the backup configuration via secure CRT and TFTP as well. So copy run command will run the take the backup configuration. So that's the all how you can take the configuration backup of switches or router through the TFTP or using secure CRT.